Hello everyone, my name is Saurav and I welcome you to Exports. Today I'm going to talk about The Martian. Of course, not the movie, but the book. I have it. This one, written by Andy Weir. So let's get started. The Martian is a science fiction novel published in the year 2014. You might have watched or heard of the movie The Martian, which is based on this novel. I actually didn't know about the book, but I had heard of the movie. Then suddenly one day I came across this book on Amazon and found that this book has 4.5 ratings and around 35,000 people rated it. I read the reviews and got to know that this story has humor. Without thinking twice, I ordered it. I actually like to read books which make me laugh because they are very entertaining. The Martian is one of them. The Martian is a phenomenal work of sci-fi. In my opinion, the book is way better than the movie. And I first read the book and then watched the movie. Actually, that's what I do with every novel with a movie because I found an interesting thing about it. And that is, whenever I read a book, I imagine the scenes, and then when I finish it and watch the movie, I get an opportunity to know whether my imagination matched with those who made the movie. It's a way of strengthening my imagination, I believe. Apart from this, watching a movie is like revising the book for me. This may sound silly, but for me, it's very interesting. In the story, there were 6 astronauts who were on a mission on Mars. But unfortunately, there was a terrible storm which almost damaged their Mars ascent vehicle. So they had to abort their mission and they all left Mars except one member, Mark Watney. The Martian is the story of Mark Watney, an astronaut stranded on Mars. He was left on the red planet with no way to communicate with Earth, and the worst thing, everyone on Earth and the other crew members thought Watney died in the storm, but he didn't die, he lived. And throughout his stay on Mars, he faced a series of life-threatening problems one after the another. When you would read this book, you would find how Mars was unkind to him throughout the story. But Watney was a mechanical engineer and also a botanist, so he used his knowledge to survive on this planet with no hope of survival. And whether he will survive or not, or what will happen, is what you will find when you read the book. I'm not going to tell you that. But yes, the character of Mark Watney is very well designed, and I even got inspired from this character, this fictional character, because the way he solved the problem is really awesome. Means he knew that there is very little chance of survival. He knew that most probably he will die, but he didn't fear death. He remained cool and calm. He solved every problem with a peaceful mind. Such a charming personality. This attitude is really inspiring. Thanks Andy Weir for this book. The major part of the story is written in the form of Watney's journal entries. Although you may find it difficult to imagine being stranded on Mars, you would be able to connect with the emotions of Mark Watney. And the story also contains scenes of NASA and those working in it. The best thing about this book, and also the biggest reason why I bought this book, is humor. The book is packed with humor. You see, it's not like the typical survival stories, sad and traumatic, not at all. It's funny, it's very funny. While reading the book, probably every 10 minutes I was laughing my heart out, and I couldn't resist myself reading and then laughing. Before reading this book, I was somewhat stressed, and when I started reading it, and because of the humor of Mark Watney, I too became a little cool. And this happens with me whenever I read any entertaining book or any funny novel. I get excited, I become happy, and life seems colorful. On the other hand, when I read any depressing books like Metamorphosis, I really get sad and depressed. I don't know if that only happens with me or everyone, but yes, that's why I'm not so fond of reading depressing books. Since it's a science fiction novel, it's packed with scientific details. If you love science and maths, you would really love reading this book. Since I like these subjects, especially maths and physics, I really enjoyed the mathematical calculations and physics logics used in this book. But if you are not a science guy and don't like reading science fiction, The Martian can be somewhat boring to you because it is filled with scientific details, especially the first 100 pages, which would seem like a non-fiction book. Although the science can be difficult to understand, the author makes sure that Watney's attitude and explanation makes it easy for the readers to understand. I have read few sci-fi books and I feel The Martian is the best of all the sci-fi books I have read till now. During the climax, I got worried as if things were happening to me. I like the story, the characters, the science, the humor, the ending. It's really entertaining and I would love to reread this if anytime I get bored. And yes, I would suggest this novel to all the sci-fi readers and anyone who is looking for an entertaining story. That's all for the review of The Martian. I hope it was valuable. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel where I keep posting about fiction and non-fiction books. Thanks for watching. Meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.